Well, today's fireside chat is to a friend of mine, but also a person I've known since 1985 at least, when he started his business. And of course, that's 25 years old, the same as our business. And we also spoke together at a conference. It was the largest financial industry conference that I think had been held in this state at the time, and many, many years ago. His name is Phil Ely, and he is a financial planner. Welcome, Phil.
Thanks, Anthony.
In the bad old days, there used to be a lot of paper articles about financial planners putting people into shares, not into property. And the reason I follow it is because, you know, they weren't recommending property.
Yeah.
That's all changed, isn't it?
Well, it's changed to the extent that I mean, generally you're paying for a fee for advice in the first instance.
As opposed to commission? As
opposed to commission. So we have an advice-based process which says, okay, we'll have an initial discovery meeting, there'll be a fee for that.
What sort of fee?
Well, the fee for an initial meeting is $350.
$350?
Plus GST.
Okay.
So they'll get minutes of the meeting for that and a strategy outline. And then if they wish to go to the next stage and have a financial plan prepared, they've got to provide us with a lot of data. We then produce a document, and there's probably a couple of $1,000s involved for that.
So we're up to 2.5?
Yep. And then depending upon where they go from there, if there are assets to manage, and we refund a portion of that if they proceed. So there's a reason to do business with us. If they go forward from that and we're actually going to be managing assets, then we have an ongoing active monitoring fee. So you know, there's a process, and that's all laid out up front.
Now, are you of the view there's going to be a property bubble burst in Australia and then in South Australia? Well,
you know, globally we've seen it happen. I know I was in Ireland at a conference this year, and their property values have fallen by 50%. There's a lot of talk about it, and you got in Sydney, you know, you can't rent property. You know, so there's a whole lot of competing issues. You've got immigration creating demand. You've got the mining industry creating demand. So whilst you might say that property goes through these cycles, there's other influences that tend to come in and keep pushing it up and up. You know, I guess the biggest concern is it sustainable in the long term? And if it's not, write it out.
You've spoken about the way you get paid. Is it no longer a commission base, or is part of it like an advice payment and then part of it commission?
Yeah. There's two components to this. Firstly, we still do risk insurance. So we evaluate areas of risk for a client, and so we still place insurances in place, and that might be business insurance or it might be personal insurance. When it comes to personal insurance, built into that product or the cost of that product, there is a remuneration to the advisor.
Right, okay.
So that's disclosed to the client.
And that's the old style that's come through?
That continues to this day,
okay.
Right? That's disclosed to the client, and if the remuneration from that product, if you like, whichever one it is satisfactory to cover the cost of providing the service, then there's no charge to the client because that's paying for it.
Yep.
If it's not, there's a fee that you pay for that service.
Yep.
When you get to investments, we have an ongoing active monitoring service. So we actively manage clients' money. We're proactive with it. We switch the funds and change managers around based upon the research, and we have a fee for that. And it's an asset-based fee, and the client's aware of that, and they sign off with an agreement and a declaration on what that fee is yearly.